fix the bubbling paint on my Jeep Gladiator, I don't have to go out and spend a ton of money. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rodmotive JT. Now, let me give you a little bit of history. I have some bubbling paint on the front end of my Jeep Gladiator. What I'm talking about, you may have seen this in a previous video, is right here on the bumper. And I don't know if you can see these areas, how well they'll come up on camera, but there's a big area here, another area here, and then even more as you look down, another big area right here. I can actually feel the paint move when I push on it. So I was thinking, because I had decided really that I was gonna buy a new bumper, I was gonna replace this one anyway, so no big deal. But then after thinking about that for a while, I thought, man, why should I have to do that? I don't want to go out and spend another $1,200 or $1,400 in addition to what I paid for this bumper just because of that. I put a video out where my plan was to go ahead and put some lights on the front, but once I found that, it kind of killed that idea, and then I decided I was going to replace this bumper. But there is a discovery. Somebody actually pointed this out to me on the channel that I didn't think about. And that is that this piece that goes across the front here comes off. And the reason it comes off is because you can mount a winch under here. Obviously, with this in the way, you couldn't set a winch. I do have a winch plate down below, by the way. Came with this bumper. So what I can do is remove these bolts, and then the ones on the side, as I mentioned, and you can see, if we take a look underneath, there are a couple of hidden ones underneath this bar. If you look underneath here, hopefully I can get it in, right there, you see this right here. That is actually a bolt or a threaded insert or piece that this plate is held on with. So there's one on this side, and then there should be one on the other side. So what that means is you can go ahead and remove this bar, and it's just held on by 4 bolts. You can see 2 on each side. And then down below, right underneath here, as I recall, is where the bolt is that screws into that little piece that I just showed you underneath, in addition to these 3 that go across the top that will release this piece that is starting to peel right in here. You guys can probably see it. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's a bubble, and there are several. There's one here, there's more as we go around, so it's bubbling all across here. But there is a benefit, a saving grace, to the fact that this thing will come off. I don't have to buy a whole new bumper. Now, I don't believe, in looking around at the rest of the bumper, that I have any other issues other than scratches and things like that that I discovered through shipping, but that's not such a big deal. So it's a definite solution for me, a way to be able to go ahead and fix this without having to replace the bumper. Now, another reason that I put this on is because I know there are people out there who have these as well as the Mopar brand. That's the OEM version, of course. Exact same thing, except it's a bit lighter and a heck of a lot more expensive. And if you're having the same problem as what I'm having, and if you have this removable piece here in the middle, you can simply take it off and repaint it. Now, there is a challenge in doing this. If you look at a couple of the areas that I had touched up, let's take a peek right here. You can see the paint doesn't match perfectly. It is a little bit duller or a little bit less shiny than the surrounding paint. The problem is if I paint this in the same way or with the same paint, I'm going to have the same issue. That is going to stand out. Now, there are a couple of options for me as far as trying to match. I could just go crazy and change the whole texture of this altogether. In other words, leave the bumper the way that it is and use a truck bed liner. I love the truck bed liner for the texture that it leaves. I could paint this with that same textured paint. This is a little marred up as well. You can see right there, there's a little bit, and then there's a little bit of rust starting to form here on the weld. Same thing on the other side, couple little nicks and things. So it would be a good time to pull that off, sand it up a little bit, and paint both of these with the bed liner. That'll give it some texture and it'll give it some uniformity, I guess, in that this piece and this piece right here will match. So I think that's probably what I'm going to look at doing. I kind of have to visualize that in my head for a little while, see if I think that's going to look good. But I do think that's probably a good alternative, a good way to go, since I'll never match the rest of the paint on the bumper. It's just not going to happen, either in shade, reflectivity. It's just going to be different. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, kudos to you guys, because it was one or two of you out there that kind of clued me in that that piece actually comes off and that I can go ahead and repaint it. I really appreciate that. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my solution. Would you do that? Would you pull it off and repaint it? And would you go with the bed liner, the textured kind of paint, across both the bar and that plate down below? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, did you subscribe yet? Don't forget to click that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Do me a favor. I have two other channels, Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check those out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.